Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the Replayer Podcast. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to us on YouTube to stay up to date with all of our latest content. If you want to support the show, you can do that too by clicking on the support link in the description box below.
Thanks, Pagan. If you guys want to support us, you can get started for as little as $1 a month. All soup will be put towards improving the podcast and helping us keep doing what we love, meeting replayers. You can get started by going to anchor.fm/thereplayerpodcast/support or click on the link in the show notes. Thank you. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Replayer Podcast. I'm your host this week, Dan, and my co-host, Pagan.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
How's it going, Pagan?
Yeah, grand. Good.
Okay, just making sure. I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know, yeah. Been a while.
It's been a
minute.
week.
It's been a hot minute. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Can I go ahead and call it out that this is 40 minutes in?
Fuck
Yes. By the way,
you,
we are
Robot Ninja
joined
Shark.
by the one and only Ryan, a.k.a. Robot Ninja Shark. Thanks, Ryan. How are you doing?
And the wonderful skyline behind him. Oh.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That was very much like my dad or my grandmother when they're on like Skype to you and they're just like this. Hi, honey. How are you? It's so good to see you today. Hello. That was very much that.
I'm so glad I remind you of your
listening
grandmother.
to this episode of the podcast,
Oh,
Pagan just
yeah.
shoved her face in her camera.
It's the beard.
So those of
The
you
beard.
watching the video version, I apologize for that.
Yeah,
You
sorry,
audio
video
listeners
content only.
are fortunate.
I apologize for the audio version.
We will note
amazing.
that Ryan had the stipulation to be on the show. He required us to be drinking alcohol. So
We're all drinking some form of whiskey.
and milk.
I say some form because they're actually drinking whiskey and I'm drinking whiskey liqueur because I'm a bitch. I'm drinking a bitch drink.
It
Well, welcome
looks
to the
like
show,
the milk
Ryan.
that was left out for Santa, but left over like 2 days
It
later.
definitely
That's
does.
what it looks like.
If you left this out
Fermented.
for Santa, he would be
He would be
wasted
hammered.
trying to get the rest of the world.
Well,
Oh, Lord.
you
can
get
drop
whatever
around
present you
off.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's
Facts.
Santa's and fermented milk. It's
Not safe for work
good.
presents left under the trees for kids. Oh god. It is getting
Speaking of
nasty.
Santa, that beard. That's how you segue.
That's
That's how you
that,
segue. Nice.
Look at that Santa beard.
Oh, look at that up close. Oh god. Wow. How do you
Pagan,
like,
Pagan, hang on. You need to verbally explain what we're seeing for our audio listeners.
Oh, okay. Ryan, aka Robot Ninja Shark, just leaned really close into the camera just to give you a really nice
Perfect.
side view of his beard, of his luxurious, well-tamed, and well-groomed beard. Goddamn.
Excellent.
If
Well,
you want to hear it in
there's a
audio form,
reason-
it's like this. Oh.
It's like a glowing light coming out of your
Beautiful.
speakers.
You're welcome. That's all you. That's all your beard.
Well, the reason we're here is to get to know our replayers, starting with Ryan today because Ryan is our guest. Hello,
Starting
Ryan.
with Ryan today. Ryan is our
Hi.
host.
And the reason
Don't
I am
fuck up
here
my
am to
bit.
do
Pa-
everything I can to distract
Paige.
these two.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That you're doing a good job, Ryan. You're doing a good job.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad that you're here to distract us.
Oh, this is fun.
I almost want to call a drink on that because it
Whispering.
sounded like you messed that up.
Oh, what? I didn't fuck up
Which
anything.
of us?
Doesn't matter. Anyways,
We
How
both
are you
drink.
doing?
All right, yep.
while you're drinking, I'll pose a question of for Ryan to let us know your replayer journey, how you got introduced to retro replay, and what the show means to you.
And I will answer that question with another question. What happens when we die?
Uncle Noli will answer
Absolutely
that question.
nothing.
That's
You
true.
get
No, he
into the
actually did
ground.
answer that one, didn't he?
He did. He
think he
did
did.
actually.
Oh my God, we'll get into that. What was the question? How did
Why
I get
are you
into
What's your
here?
retro
replayer
replay?
journey?
Why
How
are
did you
you
find the
My
show?
retro
Here.
replay journey.
Why are you on the show?
Why am I on the show? I don't. You guys wanted me here, but how
you
did I
asked
like?
me.
You what? You? No, I knew I wasn't gonna cry.
Oh, Ryan cries. Who had Ryan cries? Who had Ryan cries? 3 minutes. Okay.
Deadpool, Pyro, name drop.
Pyro
You
needs
still
10
haven't
bucks.
answered the question. This is gonna be a long
Yeah,
episode.
it's more like your replayer journey.
My
something that I
replayer
coined
journey.
earlier
Okay.
on.
So
Yeah.
no, I discovered, like, I found out this was a thing with the little promo that they filmed, that they were announcing that they were going to play both The Last of Us and Uncharted 2,
Oh, okay. Yes.
and that
Okay.
blew my mind. I had been at work for 29 hours. 29
How does that
hours.
work?
What?
There's not 29 hours in a day.
It's a long story, but I had
Oh my
been at my
gosh.
office for 29 hours. I'm just exhausted, and I go to fill up my car on the way home because I'm a spaz and don't
that
fill
your
up my
sweet,
car when I
sexy
need to. It's like,
BMW?
I live
Sure.
3 minutes away. I don't know if I can make it, so I'm gonna fill up my car. And I'm just like scrolling through YouTube, and I see this beautiful, beautiful video of Troy and Nolan, and
You
I've
wept.
had enough to drink that I thought I said Trolling for a second, and I wept. And it was beautiful, and it just like lit my face with the glow of
Your beard glistened.
beauty. It's like strings on a harp, like they just sang. And no, like, so that moment, I was like, this is what I needed, because I knew who Troy was, but I was a huge fan of Nolan, and
Nice.
like, this is exactly what I wanted to see.
Nice.
And
Nice.
that's how I joined. And then I was that quiet person who didn't say anything for like 2 months, and then I chimed up and realized you guys are amazing and like
Aw.
talking to people
Us
and like hearing from
specifically?
people.
Thank you.
Actually, yeah, you Pagan. When I think, like, everybody else, I'm like, oh, Pagan, oh, I should share Jesus.
You were the one sitting over there like, Pagan, you need to change your ways.
Like, you have such a kind heart. I just
You're such a
But
kind
she
heart.
needs
You have such an
Jesus.
unfortunate name. Oh. I actually
Calling back
remember
to-
when you
yeah.
posted first and everything, because of your username, Robot Ninja Shark. I was like, God damn, that's such a good username. And I feel like your first post was probably soup. Maybe not. It was like one of the highlighted ones later on as well. Then I was like, oh my God, that's a fucking dope username.
Speaking of soup,
yeah.
it's definitely how you have
Speaking
made a
of
name
soap.
for yourself, sir.
Well,
Soup is like, I'm a big fan of bone broths specifically. I love soup.
mm-hmm.
I love
Big
soup too.
fan.
I actually am more of a tomato and basil person. I don't really like
Really?
other soups. Yeah,
Basil?
I really like
Tomato and
tomato and
basil.
basil, or tomato. Why? What do you say?
Basil?
Tomato and basil.
Tomato and basil.
It's very American.
Well, it's like tomato. Like, that's the thing. You
Tomato.
can either tomato or tomato. I've never heard anybody say
Tomato.
Basil.
Well, tomato and basil. Basil. Yeah, basil. Anyway.
That's the guy from Austin
Herb.
Powers.
Another 40
Basil.
minutes
Red
of
peppers.
basil?
Yeah, for a
Coffee
second there, I
tastes
was
like
like,
shit.
how do I pronounce
It's
it?
basil.
God damn. Fuck.
Tom.
Yeah, I'm more of a tomato, like, I don't know. Fruity soup? Yeah, that gets
Fruity soup.
fruity
best
soup,
kind of
fruity
soup.
Yeah.
Fruity soup.
Drew,
Yeah, like
you better be
banana
listening.
Fruity soup.
You just
I did. I know we do that to Drew all the time.
We do, unfortunately. Poor Drew.
We do
sitting
this
there
to
just like,
Drew, and then we just picture him in his car driving to work and just being like, "Oh, God damn it!"
anytime we reference his name, it's like he just rolls his eyes. I could hear the ear roll. Like, just be like, like from ear to ear, be like.
Well, with that tangent down, we have a few questions to get to know you, sir. For the replayers out there who go, "Who is this robot ninja shark, and what makes him tick?" We need to know these burning questions. And the first
I
question
actually
is,
actually, Juan, before you get into that, I have a question.
fine.
Are you a robot? Are you a ninja? And are you a shark?
I am 2 out of the 3.
Oh my God, it's so exciting. Oh,
I was a
but
shark
you're not going to
yesterday.
tell me which one? Oh, yes. Okay, great. Thank you. That was an excellent answer.
Keep it secret. Keep it
We'll wait.
safe.
We'll wait till one of the cons.
Okay.
Do you have a robotic leg?
Next question.
Okay.
Oh!
Do you have a shark tooth?
He has a robotic
Pretty sure
limb,
one
but
of my
all
kids
of his forelimbs are fine. Nah? That's
You are a motorcyclist, aren't you, sir?
I used to be, and now I am a wonderful scar wearer. No, actually, I crushed my wrist. Horrible thing. But I
Oh my
still
God.
rode.
Jesus.
Like I didn't have the surgery for 4 months, I want to say, after I broke my wrist. But I
What?
was still riding like during that time. So I don't
Did you know it was
ride.
broken?
Oh yes.
So you waited 4 months?
I'm very
or
well
you,
aware.
or it just took
I was
that long to
a
get surgery?
consultant, and there was a weird thing with the insurance that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Weird thing with
It
it.
wasn't
But
that. It wasn't that you were just like, I'll be fine.
I had
for
a
4 months.
claw
It was.
hand.
Oh, okay.
I had a
God.
legit claw hand. It's called a humpback deformity, where all of the bones, people are like, all the bones just like crumble. It's like a box of jigsaw pieces that you just kind of shake up, and they all locked in place. And but you get to this point where you're
I'm waiting for you to pull a Terminator, where you pull like the skin off your hand and you got a robot arm.
And it's just a robot arm, probably.
Just wait.
But we'll never know.
Wait for the con.
It could be
I fortunately
a shark
have never
fin. Who knows?
had an accident on my bike, so knock on wood.
Not once. You've never
dumped it.
Knock on wood. Fuck.
What?
My dad's a motorcyclist, and he's just like, because I wanted to get on motorcycles then when I was younger, because my dad's a motorcyclist, and he was like, no, because you will crash. And I was like, no, I'll be really fine, I'll be really safe. And he's like, but you will crash. Like some point in your motorcycle life,
because
you will
a car
crash
hits
because of
you.
someone else. Yeah, because of someone else. Like you could be super careful, you could be the best driver on the road, but some asshole won't see you and you will get clipped. And I was like, and that like my dad's been in so many accidents. Yeah, my dad's been in so many accidents. Thank God, nothing life-threatening or like seriously injured. But has been multiple accidents. Doesn't stop him, obviously.
Yeah, because it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good.
Like as long as you have the proper gear on.
Yeah.
That
full
is
leathers,
important.
everything.
Kids,
yeah.
Wear your helmets.
I've always worn full
Don't wear
gear,
flip-flops.
by the way.
Good.
Yeah, because I think my dad got into a crash once when he was wearing, I think like he had a leather jacket but jeans on. And when he got into that crash, like the whole side was like, and everything like just like not ripped in terms of a way that was like super serious, needs surgery type thing, but like that whole side of the leg was bruised and damaged and everything was just so hard. Whereas the top of him was absolutely fine. So now he wears full leathers regardless, doesn't matter, every time full leathers. I'm like, thank God, Dad, thank God.
So I'm never going to get closure on whether you're a robot, a ninja, or a shark, or any mixture of those three.
No, that's the fun of it.
Then we're going to move on to
like
good
a replayer
questions.
meetup.
Okay,
I still want to know what happens when we die.
No one can answer that. Nothing happens. You just die.
We shit ourselves.
We
learned that.
You learned yourself.
We learned that from Nolan.
We did. We sure did.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Uncle Nolan.
It is a real thing.
Answering those hard questions. But speaking of hard questions, you, sir, need to answer our replayer questions of what was your introduction to gaming?
Atari 2600.
Nice.
Going way
do you
back.
know what game? Or games, I should say.
Oh God! Like I was young, but I remember loved Pitfall.
Pitfall's cool. I don't know. I've never played it, but it looks like such a good game from the show.
I remember no matter what I played, I was young enough that I just sucked at it. Yeah. But I remember loving it every single time. Every game that I played. Horrible.
I played the ET game.
I was just thinking about the ET game. The ET game. Why has that not been on Retro Replay? Because that is the greatest horrible game of all time.
They have a copy. It was behind, I think, Nolan's head for an episode.
Oh, right, it was. They do have it.
And we were like, come on, play ET.
I remember playing that game as a kid and just falling in a fucking well and never getting out of the damn thing. Yep, you just fall in the well, you get stuck, and that's it.
With his neck all.
That was the game.
Listeners. For the listeners. Brian's doing the neck impression.
Should get on YouTube. That's what the listeners should do.
Goddamn right. Listeners, check it out on YouTube anyway, because
you can check out the YouTube, but we don't want to alienate our audio-only listeners, especially for those folks.
Especially if they're doing something like Ryan.
Before the show, we were talking about multitasking and how we listen to a lot of content while doing other things. So good on everyone enjoying this show as you're doing something at home, whether you're cooking or cleaning or whatever the hell you're doing. I'm not going to ask. Keep that to yourself.
Whoa.
Just fully
Whoa.
respectful to you, whatever the hell you're doing.
Anyways,
Whatever the heck
next
you're
question
doing.
is
It's like he silently said the word dumbass afterwards. It was incredible.
very Uncle Noli style, like dumbass.
Lol.
Do you
Oh,
have a
man.
preferred platform that you like to play your games on?
So I've got a PS4 Pro. Yeah, I have to pour more before I drink. Although I'm going to break the mold here. I don't know if you've had a guess so far where the answer would be the Oculus Quest.
We have
preferred
not.
platform
Interesting.
Quest. Would that count as
Interesting.
PC though?
No, it's self-contained.
True. That is true.
No, I'll list it.
We'll take it. We'll add Quest to the board.
Yup.
It is
I'll take it.
incredible. Highly recommend it.
What have you been enjoying on your Quest lately?
So I don't get the opportunity to throw it on very often, but I love my VR workouts.
Interesting.
Okay.
Specifically boxing, which is incredible. Like just like dripping with sweat, puking, just crapping yourself. Like amazing workouts. Highly
Wow.
recommend it. Don't judge me.
Interesting.
Don't
Well, I
judge.
see. I don't
you
have
dare
Oculus.
judge
I
me.
am not judging. I think it's great.
Can I throw out there the fact that when the Xbox One came out with the Kinect, they had Xbox workout app. There was an Xbox fitness app built into the Xbox that you could work out with videos with instructors, and it actually used the Kinect to gauge your body temperature, how many calories you were burning, and it would track everything you were doing. So like when I first got my Xbox One X, I used to do Insanity on my Xbox, and it would tell me how many calories I burned and shit, and like I would be like dripping in sweat and dying with my Xbox. But then they canceled that service because people didn't give a fuck about it.
And I think
remember,
like 30 years
Wii Fit.
ago, that was a really good, technology, and that it came a long way.
Yeah.
That was
Like, I mean,
quite fun.
I remember doing Wii Fit, and then the only thing that I would do now that's like vaguely exercise related in terms of VR is Beat Saber. Beat Saber is fucking unreal, but
I'm
like,
sure it is.
ooh, you get sweaty so fast. And
Dude.
what's fuck me, what's the game called? Where
That's
it's
not
super
that
hot,
game.
super hot, super
Yes.
hot.
No,
Sorry.
super hot's like a great core. You throw on a weight
Love
vest and do
that.
super hot, and that is fantastic.
So
you know what
good,
was my
I love
old
it.
school version of that was Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Revolution, yeah.
I had DDR on the PlayStation 2 with the mats, and I would play that shit like all the fucking time when I was a kid.
You invite your friends over just to watch them cry for how bad you beat them?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
I knew it.
Obviously.
How it works.
Everybody who played Dance Dance Revolution, yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to put on some Sandstorm. I'm going to put on my strobe light, and we're going to go. That's how you did it. And then I would collapse out of breath, dying.
That's what kids need nowadays.
Let's go back and play some DDR.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
But Oculus Quest, I've never actually tried it. The only VR thing that I've done is PlayStation VR.
I
love that
PlayStation
it's self-contained, though.
It's game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
I'm considering buying one when Iron Man comes out.
Oh, yes.
Demo's out.
I'm concerned about Iron Man. I think I've aired this before because it's like you're flying, so there's no gravity. I'm scared of the nausea aspect of that. Because I feel like I don't know if you've reached any of those episodes, Ryan, but basically, like I am fine with VR as long as you're grounded somehow. Because I was playing a Star Wars VR game, and I was completely queasy because there's no gravity and you could do whatever you want. You can go backwards and upside down, and it messes with my equilibrium. So I was like, okay, I can't. I'm out. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy these games that are like anything that you can sit down or stand in, like Beat Saber and anything like that, because you're stationary in this term of like you're not moving anywhere. It's fine, or you're grounded on something. Cool.
On that
so that's
note,
why
too,
I'm like,
as far as
I bet Iron Man.
As far as VR goes, though, I want to get a VR headset that I can play Alex. I want to play Alex.
Like, you want to play Alex Half-Life?
Oh.
Thank you. Do that again, please.
So it's not on Oculus. However, you can connect your Oculus Quest to your PC if you have a good enough internet connection and play PC Steam VR games and Oculus Rift VR games wirelessly.
Cool.
So I
I
am
I didn't know that.
huge Half-Life fan. Like back in 2006 when Orange Box came out, changed my. I dreamt in like Half-Life physics for like 4 years.
What?
I'm not
Oh
even
my
joking.
God.
I really did. My dreams were like in Half-Life physics. It was awesome. Like I can't wait to dream.
just that
swimming
open
around.
source engine, just your
Yes.
brain was coded in open source.
Nice.
But
I
to
never-
tell you
I
how
never
often I
played
get to
Half-Life,
play,
so-
like I haven't even finished Alex yet. I'm like three
Oh,
quarters
so
of
you've
the way
played it
through.
though. That's awesome.
I've played it and it's unbelievable.
Mm.
It is
Nice.
everything you want it to be. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's definitely something that seems like kind of the future
I've
of
never
gaming
played
right
it.
there. Like I'm very excited to try and play that.
It's good.
On
I
that
will play
note,
it one
do you
day.
have a favorite game, sir?
Ooh!
Or at least like a favorite franchise? You can say a couple
Well, I
of
mean-
things if you can't narrow it down.
Obviously, I'm assuming 90% of the people on this podcast say Uncharted, Last of Us.
Fuck
Nope.
them. Say whatever you want.
I've never heard of
I-
those games. What are they?
This is why that was the most popular episode, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dan.
fuck you.
Yep. No, Journey is right up there too. Journey and
Nice.
Flower and anything by that game company.
Journey is beautiful.
Oh,
I've only recently just completed it. I played a little bit of it before, but when it came out on PSN Plus, I was like, I'm just out going to play this, and it's beautiful, and
it's so pretty.
you
And the
lose your mind in it.
score?
like you're just
Dude.
Please go
Also,
play
Wintry's
score on
Limbo
that
or
is
Inside
therapeutic or
by
something.
Playdead
Best.
Studios.
I played them both. It's excellent.
Those games are so good.
Limbo's
Mhm.
good. Limbo's good. Journey, like just the in your heart with the in the chest. So good.
Yeah, makes you all the warms and fuzzies. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So you said you had a PS4 Pro, but you don't play it as much lately.
I don't get a chance. So this tells you how often I get to play games, because
I know the
love-
struggle. Totally know the struggle.
I love it. Like I was the kid that was obsessed. Like every waking minute was thinking about video games. But I just finished Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wow.
I got it, at launch.
I
Have
haven't
not
finished
played
it, if that
any
makes you
side
feel
missions.
better.
Like just playing the story.
Oh
And
wow.
I was, one of those guys who totally used the bugs and like got $200,000 right off the bat, which is amazing, by the way. I love playing
Nice.
it that way. It was fantastic. But I just got my PS4 back out and like played the last 3 hours of it. Like I stopped 3 hours short of finishing it.
Oh, I've done that before where like I
Really?
stop playing a game and then I go back to it. Like I should finish this game. I start it up, I start playing, and then I beat it. Like, wow. I was at the end. Like I picked a really
Yeah.
bad time to
Oh,
stop
I should have
playing.
turned that corner and then I could have stopped.
I actually had a recent experience with Titanfall 2 where I went back to it last week because somebody was like, dude, you totally need to play this game because of these certain elements. And literally my checkpoint was at that spot, like where shit starts getting crazy. Because if you haven't played Titanfall 2, I highly recommend it. There's a point in that game where you start doing time travel and you feel like fucking Nightcrawler from X-Men.
Ooh.
Like I was straight up like, this is me, my 100% personal opinion. I went like, I feel like Nightcrawler because I was phasing in and out from different realities. And you
Cool.
can fight your enemies that way. So you would get swarmed by like a group of enemies and you can hit a button and change times, but you can still see like an echo of where your enemies were. So you could like position yourself behind them and then boom, right back. So I'm literally going
Sounds
bam,
good.
bang, and then shoot back. And in my head, I was going bamf. Like that's the sound that Nightcrawler makes apparently when he travels.
I feel like it's that comic book style where like
It is the
Bamf
comic
comes
book
across
thing.
across the
Exactly.
screen.
And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, ha ha, like I was in my glory, just
God.
going back and forth between realities and like
Nerd.
materializing, blasting a dude, dematerializing, and just going back and forth. That game is so underrated. People should play it.
Here's what I really want. I want you to finish the glass of Jameson and then describe all of that again.
Bam.
Because I
We would
want
be
to
here
hear
all
how
night.
I want to hear the game from that perspective.
The
Yeah,
one
finish
more
a
glass
few
of
of those
Jameson.
glasses and then we'll talk. We'll do like
That would
an
be
after show
post-show
podcast.
content.
Yeah,
That'll be
post show
post-show.
content where we'll be like, okay, now we can have 6 more of these drinks and get real.
Yeah,
Maybe
post-show content,
that'll
it's just me.
finally push people to like signing up for like a Patreon or something to listen to the drunken post show.
Dude, one drink and I'm just like, okay, I'm real sleepy now. And then the second or third drink,
Sleepy.
I'm like, all right, let's go see if we can solve the problems of the universe. Okay.
Get to that second or third. I want to solve the
Yeah.
problems of the universe while on this podcast.
Solve the problems of the universe.
That's what we're here
or
for, sir.
play a game and I get really good for some reason. If I'm like on now, I say really good. I'm shit to start with, so
You
it's not.
think
it's
you're
not
really
far
good.
to come up.
Yeah, we're both like, you think you're really good?
I know you do.
Headshots.
You're
And
like,
the
"I'm
thing comes up and it
amazing."
says like headshot achieved, and I'm like, yeah, bro.
Pagan, I know
What?
you're not a fan of How I Met Your Mother, but I totally want to make a How I Met Your Mother reference right now of like when Ted Mosby thinks he's beatboxing in the bar like really well, and then they do like the
Not at all.
recap, and you see that he's actually just like super drunk, like boop, beep, beep.
Yeah, that's me. That's probably me. I'll be like, oh my god, I'm getting all these headshots. I'm awesome. Look at my trophy. And I got a trophy
like-
for like dying too many times.
Yeah, it's like those were the headshots against you.
Yeah.
You were getting headshotted.
You
Like,
died
"Oh,
too many
I
times.
got a
as this
headshot.
thing.
Adam, I got
I
a
was so
headshot.
good. They're making me play this part over and over again. Like
I got to watch
here.
me die because I was so good.
Yeah, I mean, Adam could attest to this one day when he exists. He may attest to this.
He may exist one day.
Yeah.
Because you say that, and in my mind, when you were saying Adam, there was just a stuffed dummy. It just
Yeah, we say it's a cardboard cutout. We're just like get a
He's
cutout.
got a name
Yeah.
tag
One
that
day
says
I'm
Adam.
gonna actually get Adam to just stand there as
Just
if
a
he's a
canvas,
cardboard cutout.
head.
Liam McIntyre, if you're listening to this is the Adam joke that you're talking about.
Oh, Liam don't listen to our podcast.
I know.
Like,
Hey,
fucking no way
we
he
didn't think
listens to
Drew
our
listened
podcast.
either, but
That's actually very true. We didn't think Drew listened, and yet he does. So I guess shout out to Liam if you're watching, bro.
enjoying
go,
your
Drew.
streams, bro.
Way to go.
Way to
Brah.
go.
Way to go.
All right, so next question while you're taking a drink is, would you like to see a certain game played on Retro Replay? Like when they get back in the studio,
Man,
when
we
they're on the
just-
couch.
We just talked about ET, you know.
Right. Besides that, anything?
Fantastic.
Good one.
Oh.
I wonder why they haven't played ET though. Is it like a rights issue? You think? 'Cause,
Could
I mean,
be.
they get it.
It could be, or it's just they know how bad it is and they don't want, like, it's not even this is
Nah,
fun
that's good
bad.
content.
It's just like this is horrible bad. Because there is
They
a
generally
difference.
don't play bad games because they're bad, though. They
True.
did once. They did once when
Which
they played
one?
that. They played that like mashup game for like Super Nintendo that had like the Burger King game with the Graboid or
Yeah.
whatever. Like they had an episode of purposely bad games.
Oh, I didn't.
But it
I
was
don't remember that
multiple,
episode.
so they
That was
didn't
like
have
level
to
one.
spend too much time on
Yeah,
each
yeah.
game. I think that's the thing. Like to be
Yeah,
able
true.
to, we were talking about like spend like 4 hours filming, you know, for one really amazing hour of content and cutting out everything too inappropriate to say on the internet.
Yeah, true.
Then that'd be a lot to do.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's true actually. Easy. We own everything
Getting so
now.
high.
That was funny.
We own
That was good. That was a
I
segue
feel-
to
Now
something
what?
else, but it's okay. Now what?
I
What
want to
other
hear from,
questions
I want to
got
hear
for
from you
me?
guys. See, there was a pause, so I'm going to ask you guys. What,
Go for it.
like, how did you get into gaming? Because I don't know that story.
If you listen to our
Sure.
podcast, you would.
No, but
Whoa.
not. No.
To be fair, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to listen to that. You'd have to listen to a lot of them because I think that story was
True,
never
true.
actually
It's-
directly.
It's
Specified.
unfolded over
and now
many
is
episodes.
the time.
And now is the time.
All right,
For
so
anybody
we'll
who
do a
hasn't-
Pagan,
little-
you're willing to answer.
A
Pagan,
little
Yeah.
how
reverse
did you get into this?
replayer podcast.
My dad used to play PC games. Not a lot or anything. It was just more like my dad's a musician, so whenever he was in the office, he was either working on music or he would be playing like video games. So he would let me press the space bar to open the door when you're playing Duke Nukem or Wolfenstein. You can press space bar to open the door. So I'd be like pressing things, and he'd like be shooting zombies or whatever, and it was really really cool. When I was like a kid, like 5, maybe 6, and he'd let me press the space bar. And then he got us a PlayStation 1. He got us a PlayStation 1. I feel like he got
The
himself a
modded one.
PlayStation 1. A modded one. and we could play all these really cool like discs of that weren't like that we would get from flea markets. I don't know. Yeah, I presume you have flea markets in America. I don't know what you call them.
Where you trade fleas. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like the fleas are jumping on
the literal
trampolines and
transition.
things.
These little fleas would just play with it. Yeah, it's great. It itched though. Yeah, so we'd get this like PlayStation that would kind of play these really, really cute games that didn't have to be like legit games. Sorry, PlayStation. But yeah, that was pretty much our first introduction, and we got Tomb Raider and Crash Bandicoot, and that was kind of like our thing. We had a whole array of stuff that like we didn't really play. We had Dead or Alive. We had
Dead or Alive
Tomb
1.
Raider, Tekken. Yeah, Dead or Alive 1. Tekken and Tekken 2, I think. Or was it just Tekken 2? Could have just been Tekken 2. But yeah, that was my childhood. And my most vivid memory was playing Crash Bandicoot. At the same time, Pink's first album came out, Misunderstood. And I knew this game so much because I was obviously shit. I haven't gotten any better since I was 7. So I was still shit at this game. So I'd keep playing the same levels over and over again, but I just enjoy playing that. But I'd kind of get annoyed with the sound. Like the sound was too repetitive for me. So I'd turn it off and I would listen to Pink's music on repeat. So I have vivid memories of me playing Crash Bandicoot and having like certain Pink songs come on. So anytime I play that level now, I start singing like a Pink song.
Please drink more milk. And continue.
Also, right, I do these like little tangent sections where like I'll just go off on one, and I'm like, Dan, honestly, if you want to fast forward that for viewers, that's fine. Like just go.
I see Dan in the window just.
He's bored off his tits because he's heard it all before.
No, I honestly just remembered about like the fact that I can control which camera is in focus and started doing that just then.
Fuck you. All right? Fuck you, Dan. Okay? Don't let the power go to your head, buddy. All right? All right?
Power. I know what you're talking about.
What about you, Dan?
This is totally going to be Fuck You, Dan part 2.
Yeah.
Where did I get introduced in video games? When was video games not a part of my life?
From the womb. He came out, had a fucking controller in his hand. Doctor was playing multiplayer.
There you go. That's it.
Yep. That's basically it.
Moving on. I'm kidding. No, I remember growing up with an Atari, a Nintendo, played like, was it Battle? What was the? No, it was like the one with the tanks. Like you could drive around little tanks and shoot each other on Atari. I think it was.
That one was literally just called Tanks.
Was it Tanks? Okay, just Tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks. Like you just, we had Pong, we had Tanks. I remember playing like the original like Prince of Persia. We got a Nintendo when I was very young. NES, correct. That is the correct pronunciation. And I can say pronunciation and drink my whiskey.
Nerds. Oh, no fucking knows.
Ryan Pyro Biggs at me, bro. NES. Anyways, my mom was big into like Mario when I was a kid, so we used to play a lot of Mario. I had a friend who got a PlayStation 1, and we used to play like, that was my introduction to PlayStation, playing like Crash Bandicoot. What was like NFL Game Day? Like back in the day when there was other football games besides Madden, playing like original Mortal Kombat on PC, which was weird.
Wait, Mortal Kombat on PC?
Mortal Kombat on PC. That was my first experience with Mortal Kombat, was on PC.
I don't remember it being on PC. I went to my friend's house when we played it, I think on SNES or NES or I don't know.
Well, here's my disappointment as I played Mortal Kombat on PC, which was like the arcade version of the game. So I, having only a Super Nintendo at the time, had my mom buy it for me on Super Nintendo, and there was no blood. And I was like, "This is bullshit."
Right. Yeah. Then it was that one that we played.
It was the sweat. You punch somebody and like gray sweat comes off of them, and then you like decapitate somebody, and there'd be no blood, or it'd be like discolored.
And yet my parents were like, "This is the devil."
This is the devil.
No.
My parents gave up after the Super Nintendo. We're like, play whatever the hell you're gonna play.
My parents were very like, be free, kids. Whatever you want. Like, we were never like really censored.
Now, was that in
for
South
anything.
Africa
Yeah.
or in Ireland?
Both. Well, like we were up to 10 years old, 11 years old in South Africa. So we were going on 11 when we moved. So both. Just be free, kids.
I was
whatever you
just
wanna
wondering
play.
if they got
All
like
good.
easier going after they moved.
Nah, they
from
were
one
always
country to
easy
the
going.
other.
Nah, I
I-
didn't give a fuck. Like, not that they weren't concerned with the content we were consuming. I presume like they would like try and filter content for us that we just didn't know about. But they were very like, yeah, if you want to play that, sure. We were funny enough, like we were never interested in it. The only thing we had access to really was Tekken, and that was cool enough for us. We were like, okay, great.
I will say,
Mortal Kombat wasn't a big thing.
really, like that was big for me as a kid growing up because like I was a big Nintendo fanboy growing up. Like I can full on say like I was a Nintendo fanboy until my buddy got a PlayStation. And I was like, all right, cool. Like Crash Bandicoot is cool. We used to play like Fighting Force. That's a throwback if you know that game.
I do actually.
You know Fighting Force? That's awesome.
I've
I'll
heard
give
of
you
that.
some.
Yeah,
You
it was
just
at a
gained a
friend's
little
house we went to.
point of
Yeah.
respect from you, Pagan.
Oh, so I'm at 1 now.
Lost
One.
From 0 to 1.
But then like here's the thing for me was Resident Evil 2. I'm pointing like this on purpose if for the audio listeners. Resident Evil 2 came out on the PlayStation 1 and I played that game for the first time, and that's what opened my eyes to like, hey, other games on consoles besides Nintendo are pretty awesome. I need to get myself a PlayStation. So I had asked for a PlayStation for Christmas that year, and my birthday is in January, so it was like boom, Christmas, then birthday. Asked for both the Resident Evil games at that time, and I became a multi-platform gamer from then on. I had a Nintendo 64, then I got a PlayStation, and then I eventually got an Xbox after that, and I became I play everything type gamer. Whatever I can get my hands on. How much more do I have to give, Ninja, Shark, Robot, Man?
Okay.
Drink.
For one thing, I just want to know if we can make
Drink.
I need to get a
All right, there we go.
I want to know if we can put the I need to get a PlayStation as the like caption for this
You need to get a
No.
PlayStation?
thing. Yeah, well that's what he just said.
I
That's
said
exact
I
words.
need to get a PlayStation. He's taking that out
Oh,
of
yeah.
context.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
You were talking about SNES though, or NES. I remember the moment I discovered NES, and it like changed my world. It impacted me deeply.
Yes.
Oh.
I just remember. I remember being like, oh God, I must have been like 4 years old, staying over at my cousin's house in the middle of the night, and I just hear a bunch of ruckus in the other room, and I get up and I just like toddle in there, and there they have Mario on this beautiful TV, and I just
Super
remember,
Mario
like, walking
World.
in, like
was
looking,
so
Super Mario
gorgeous.
Brothers, just,
Whoa.
like walking in, just being like,
Nice.
what?
It's so cute.
They're weeping. It's so beautiful.
And that's
Oh, I'm dying.
will always be the moment that I remember. Like, I saw Mario, Luigi, my buddies.
And from
That's
then on, your
wonderful.
life was changed.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, for a while.
Cheers.
Dan, you're not cheersing.
Nope,
Piercing?
because I'm too busy
Hearing.
manipulating the
Hearing.
cameras to focus on
Sorry.
the different elements that just happened.
Sorry.
I have that
So
much.
beautiful. Nerd.
All right, so
Wow.
breaking the thing here. Have you guys have done replayer meetups?
Yeah.
You never talk about that.
I did
Oh,
one.
we did. We had a special episode. 2 special episodes.
For those at home
had 2
listening,
special episodes.
we
I'm
had set
sorry.
a stipulation at the beginning of this episode that if anyone flubs their words, they have to drink.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been said yet, but I'm saying it again.
Future reference. It is whiskey. Okay. We actually had 2 special episodes for the Manchester meetup that happened last year. I think around August or July, August, where we had some of the guests from Manchester actually come on, and we were just talking about it. We spoke about Kessie being able to sing with Troy, and like everybody's individual kind of experience from that episode. We did 2 in a row. So we kind of dedicated a special episode to that. There was supposed to be another one coming up now in August, and that we were going to do a live podcast from. It's not Rona. But we're gonna do a live podcast. It's not the corona, okay? I'm okay. It just went down the wrong tube. But yeah, because of the coronavirus, they've had to cancel it. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do a live podcast there. But that would have been sick.
Yeah, we had talked about doing like a live. We talked about doing like a live version of the podcast in Manchester, right?
Yeah, we were gonna do a live version of the podcast.
Obviously, that didn't happen. So.
What was your question, Ryan? Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, like
what's life?
What happens when you die?
What happens when you die?
That one, of course.
No,
well,
I was gonna ask
your
you, like,
body goes into a grave.
Craziest memory, or what's the best memory of a replayer meetup? Being able to spend time with the community. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, meeting Kessie in I think it was Kessie and Janine. I want to say it's Kessie and Janine. They're gonna text me later and be like, "You bitch." But I was in the queue for Retro Replay Live, and I could hear people behind me, and I was like, oh, "That sounds like Kessie from where we've spoken before on voice chats."
You can hear Kessie from across a convention hall,
right?
Just to be clear.
Love you, also, like, just to put context, like, we were in a large queue, so it was a lot of people, and there was a lot of people talking. But I think it was Janine and Kessie, and then I was like, oh my god, I have met them. And there were a few people behind me in the queue, and then just in front of me then was like the whole crew. Like Scaldy was there, Hannah was there, like loads of people, Cal, and we were all going to yeah, it was fucking cool. Like it was just this cool community. And then we went to go see Retro Replay Live, and we took up a whole row, an entire middle row section of like 30 something seats, and it was beautiful. Awesome. I have a photo, and I was like, that is perfect. In fact, I think the whole row wasn't enough. I feel like there was actually myself and another person was sitting in the next row, actually. So I got up and
everybody
took a picture
got to be in one row.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. And I think that was cool. And having like Troy and Nolan on stage, they had already recognized those members of the community, like Scaldy and Kessie and Mars and things like that. They were calling them out, and we were all sitting there, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, this is.
If you have that picture, you should send it to me for me to put in the video.
I will. You know what? I will. I'll send it in. Also, one of the coolest things is Scaldy Panda. I don't know if you know. Scaldy Panda is Emily, and she lives in Enniscorthy, which is 20 minutes from where I live. Right now, from where I live right now is 20 minutes. Where I lived at the time with my dad, I think.
Oh, right.
Did I live with my dad? Or even like when I lived with my dad in
You guys
in
found out like on the spot that you live within like a driving distance of each other, right?
10 minutes where my dad lives. The weirdest thing is I have met Scaldy before when I was 14. There used to be these gigs here in Wexfordtown, in the Dunmore, which is like a theater here, and they were like rock concerts, metal. Like people would go up and play Slayer and like Blink-182 and fucking Papa Roach, whatever was going at the time, AC/DC, anything. Like it was really cool, and you could get like local bands. It was just kids. It was just kids coming to play, and there was always this crowd that came from Enniscorthy because it's 20 minutes away. And she was part of this crowd. And I was like, were you part of the Scorthy crowd? And she's like, yeah, I was. I was like, no way. Like, I knew who you were, but we never were like, hey, this is Emily. Hey, that's Pagan. Like, I knew who she was and what crowd she came from. Not that it was negative in any way. It was just because they came from a different town. So that was fucking dope when I found that out. I'm like, Scaldy's tight. She's amazing. Shout out Scaldy. Dope. Yeah, she's dope.
Dope. Fucking dope. I
get
so much. I say dope
thing.
A lot, and I get shit for it every time I say it. So that's dope.
I own it. I don't care if I get shit for it.
We may never get around to talking about the episodes this week, but I'm cool with that.
There were episodes? Just
what? There was 3. We had 3 episodes of Retro Replay this
They
week.
did.
3.
We haven't
3
had
this
3
week.
episodes in months.
Yup.
So let's not talk
Exciting.
about that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, go ahead, Ryan.
Is that your beard? What happened there? It was
Your
just
beard
like...
squeak.
I'm waiting for
My
his
beard
beard to
tried
be like.
to speak up, and I was. Yep.
You like
Awkward
Ryan's
silence
real
now.
voice. Ryan's real voice is just like up here, really up here. So he forgets sometimes before he starts talking to control his voice. So he'd be like, well, I just think
I have so many voices.
Let's hear
I
it.
love it.
Okay, 4 hours later, like jump cut.
Yeah, just
SpongeBob
if you
cut.
insert that like SpongeBob thing, it's like 4 hours later.
Yeah.
Like,
4
excellent.
hours later.
Perfect. Good.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we have a show to talk about. We have 3.
What were they?
Uncle Noli knows. I know
Well,
that
the first one was Father Knows Best, and then Uncle
Yes,
Noli
it
Knows.
was because that came out on Monday.
one. That's right.
That
was
came
Monday.
out on Monday. Fucking Mondays, man. Oh, thank God there's content on Mondays. I was getting withdrawal
So,
symptoms.
Father Knows Best was supposed to be hinted at the live episode that we were on.
Supposed to be hinted at.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was,
because
Didn't
they
they
were-
straight up like talk about it?
Well,
No,
at the
like, no,
end
they
of that
did at the very
episode,
end.
they were like coming Monday, and then their feed cut out, and we were just sitting there like,
It's great. It's classic content, right? We're all just going.
but they were.
Are
That
we
was
still
them
live?
supposed to be announcing Father
okay.
Knows Best, but that
Yeah.
whole thing got cut for
cut.
some reason because of the internet being in the
Right.
internet.
Yeah, I remember.
So we
Great,
got Father
like-
Knows Best, which I feel like is a replayer name. I feel like that was heavily suggested on Twitter. Nobody's gonna correct me.
I
What?
I'm gonna assume
remember
that
something like that. Yeah.
because we were all
No.
tweeting at Drew about names for that show.
Yes, but they had already said that show in the quarantine episode, where
Did
they
they?
came
Okay.
live from Uncle Nolly's catch or whatever. He was like, "Yeah, I really like Father Knows Best, but we haven't got a name. Like, send us your tweets or whatever." And we all sent them, and obviously, they were like,
Okay,
"No, Father Knows Best
okay.
is excellent." So yeah, they went with that.
Perfect. So that was Cooper, Nolan North's son, for those who weren't aware, because there seemed to be a lot of people who weren't sure who Cooper was. They played the original Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, supposedly on the PlayStation 2, but it was clearly the PlayStation 3 version. Doesn't matter. It was the game.
Clearly.
How did you guys feel about that episode?
Oh, well, that throw to us sounded extremely like,
I
right,
have
Ryan?
great
That's
feelings
what it
about that.
sounded like.
It sounded like that. I fucking love this episode. I'm gonna start right off. I really love this episode. I thought it was wholesome AF. It was a dad embarrassing his kid, and it was funny AF. I loved it. This
I thought it
whole
was a
like,
kid embarrassing
don't
his
tell
dad.
mom or there's no more whores. Like, gold, absolute gold. Loved it.
Perfect.
I thought it
How
was
about you, Ryan?
adorable. I did. I thought it was adorable. Like I was cautious going into
Mhm.
it, but like I said, I multitask everything.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'll listen to it while I enjoy everything that comes out of this community. So
Mhm.
I loved it. I thought the best part of it was how much shit Cooper was giving Nolan. To me,
Yes.
Yeah.
that was the
Oh,
best
yeah.
part.
We
And
give them all shit.
I was thinking, like, of course, Nolan's child would know how to do that. Of course.
They give Nolan shit.
But it was just delicious. It was
Yeah.
scrumptious. Fed me for like the
Scrumptious
next
is a
3 days.
good word. Yeah. Agreed.
Scrumptious.
It's just adorable content. Like, I mean, there was some stuff thrown and like they're both almost as witty as each other, and it's just really, really good. I was really interested to see that like Nolan actually purchased like the guide for the game when it came out because he wanted to get all the extras, almost like platinum it and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's really into this game, and they're the best. The Star Wars Lego games are the best games, the best Lego ones in my opinion. I love them. We played them here. I played them in Adam's house when I was when we weren't living together. That was class. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the content. I thought it was wholesome. I thought it was just adorable, like Ryan said. What
So
did
to
you think,
completely
Dan?
throw you
Tell
off.
me your thought. Take a little sip before you
Yeah.
you tell us how you feel
That's
about
all
If
this.
I confused you, I actually really loved that episode.
Oh, okay. Because the way you threw it out was like, what did you guys think?
I was trolling you guys.
What did you
No,
think?
actually, I was
Okay.
very into that episode. I completely agree with everything that you guys were just saying. I'm a big fan of the Lego Star Wars games and Lego games to a certain point,
Mhm.
as far as generations go. Personally, one of my favorite Lego games out there is the Lego Pirates games. Fucking love those games. So good. Lego Star Wars is also really good. I had recently played them not too long ago, actually, and it was like, this is perfect because I had played pretty much up to the same point that they had. I love the interaction between Cooper and Nolan. I loved when Cooper was just like, Dad.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Like, every time he said dad, it was just like, that's right. This is his son that we're
It's
That's
watching
right.
play.
on the controller.
Yeah. And
The-
like,
yeah.
just like you said, Pagan, as far as like knowing those little insights, as far as like Nolan had played these games with Cooper when he was a kid, and he was really into them. And
Yeah.
to the point where he bought like strategy guides, and he was like, I gotta get True Jedi. I gotta get True Jedi. He was so very, I'm gonna drink because I barely said Jedi.
You did. Yeah. I was going to call you out, but didn't want to interrupt you. It's
I
fine.
gotcha.
I'm
got
gonna
you.
drink because I didn't even notice.
Haha.
Oh.
Anyways,
Yeah, wholesome episode. If I'm honest, I didn't think it would be as long as a normal episode.
yeah, I
'cause
didn't
it
expect
went
it to
on
be
for
for
almost
like a
an
full
hour.
hour.
I thought it was only going to be like a 30-minute episode, so that was a surprise.
Here's something I want to note on that.
Mm.
That was the first playthrough episode of a game that we've had that was Nolan without Troy.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is nothing against Troy. We love Troy. We're going to miss him, definitely. But this is the first time we've gotten gameplay of a game. Like, it's basically how we got the Uncharted playthroughs without Troy, though. So it's almost like a proof of concept in my mind.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Not really to me. I'm sorry. I'm lost. Could be the milk.
Proof of concept. You're drinking that Star Wars milk. It fucks you up. I get it.
The Star Wars milk
not
fucks you
blue.
up. Yeah.
It's not
fuck it.
blue, but it's
Do I
other.
have blue
it's
dye?
the other side of the galaxy.
Hold up.
Star Wars milk.
Yeah.
Let's call it the Matrix milk that has like the frosted flakes in it.
Like that gray
Sure.
kind of. It is whiskey.
Whatever
I'm
the
telling you
fuck
it
you're
is.
ingesting right now,
Yeah,
Pagan.
it's whiskey.
It's a bitch drink. What can I say? It's salted caramel whiskey liqueur. Okay. It's a bitch drink, but it's tasty.
Is it like?
Oh.
Never
What?
mind. Anyways,
Is it what?
Is it?
I see what
What?
you're saying now. What?
What?
Tell me, Dad.
Tell me now.
The entire rest of the podcast. This is what.
Yeah. This is our real voice.
These are real voices. Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't played. I don't. Okay, Star Wars. You know.
have you played
Star
Lego
Wars.
Star Wars, Pagan?
Yes, I have played Lego Star Wars, but Star
Perfect.
Wars in general.
You're not a fan.
You're not a Star Wars fan.
No, I'm not a Star Wars fan.
I've
You know
given
what? I'm just
Pagan a
gonna come
lot
out
of
and say
shit
it.
for
I'm
her
not a-
opinion on Star Wars in the past. So
Yeah, look, it's just and the prequels is just, don't talk to me. It's just
the
bad.
hatred
Anyway,
for Jar Jar from Nolan was real.
I thought that was hilarious, but I actually
was
really
hilarious.
enjoyed Jar Jar. Like, I loved Jar Jar Binks.
I love Jar Jar. I have no problem with Jar Jar.
I loved him. That was the only thing I liked about the prequel trilogy.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
I was
Ryan.
just gonna say, I'm glad they brought a little bit of light to like what that actor faced,
Yeah.
and also the
Absolutely.
same for the kid, the young Anakin went to I know people who went to school with him. He's here from Indiana. He's from
Oh.
Northside Indianapolis. So, dude, they like that.
Wait.
seriously impacted
Hold on.
their lives.
You're in
Yo,
Indianapolis.
What? Yes.
Had no idea.
Yep. Crossroads
Explain.
America. Explain?
Never mind.
Crossroads
Go
of
back to
America?
Star Wars.
That's cute.
Like, this is where I
Explain
live.
what? The concept of a state or
How
like the
dare you be in
Indianapolis, like-
Indianapolis? Blah, 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 blah.
It's a wonderful city. Beautiful. So
I'm sure
clean.
it is. Oh.
Is that what's
Is that
behind you?
sarcasm? I can't tell. I'm not
Yeah,
from America. I
St.
don't know.
Louis.
You're currently
Yeah.
standing in Indianapolis.
No, this is the St. Louis Arch that you're seeing right here.
That's
My
not
wife and I got
Indianapolis.
married underneath the St. Louis Arch. We fell in love under the St. Louis Arch on a road trip and got married 2 months later.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me
We-
cry. That's so
Pagan's
nice.
gonna
dated-
die.
We dated for 4 days. That's a real thing.
What?
We got married right. You can't see it, but right down there.
You got married in 4 days?
No, we got engaged in 4 days. We got married in 2 months.
You got
10 years
engaged in
ago.
4 days.
Yeah.
Oh my
It'll be
God.
10 years.
Wait, 10 years ago?
It'll be 10 years this year. Yeah.
Adam and I are 12 years this
2020.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a long time with one dummy.
It's a long time.
One dummy.
With one
with
fake
with
fiancé.
one canvas face.
This charade has been going on for a
Mannequin.
long time.
That expense must be so high, Pagan, that you paying that actor to be hanging out
Fuck
with
me,
you.
you have no idea. Like family dinners and everything. Jesus. Photos and shit. Ugh.
What were we
Um,
talking about?
I have
Star
no idea.
Wars? Oh,
Star Wars.
you were talking about Anakin, the kid who played Anakin. That you said that you knew somebody who went to school with him. And
Yeah,
he's
actually,
completely-
he went to school in Carmel. But no, both of those actors like faced so much hate from those movies that,
sucks.
or from that first movie specifically, that it just like ruined them. So fortunately, the
That
Jar Jar
sucks.
guy's doing pretty good. The Anakin kid's still struggling.
What's he doing
Oh,
now?
really?
Motivational speaking, I think. The Jar Jar
Oh.
guy. Yeah.
How to get over being Jar Jar Binks?
Hey, you know what? Actually, I would probably go to one of those because it probably does have a lot to do with like, you know, mental
Probably.
health and trying to like come away from what everybody else thinks. I don't
No,
know
that
why
was a
Jar Jar got so much
legit
hate.
response.
He's such a cool fucking character. Whatever.
he
I
was
liked him.
poorly written.
Yeah, maybe. I don't pay enough attention to that. Like I'm more like the he's a fun on me now, okay day. I'm like, oh, this is cute. I like him.
You do reference Jar Jar.
Jar
quite
Jar a lot.
bit.
Yeah, I
You
think
say
he's
Okie
cute.
Day a lot.
Okie day. Yeah, I love it. I think he's just adorable. How can anybody hate that character? Whatever.
He was pretty cute. I'll
He's a
give you that.
cutie. He's a cutie.
I loved
Um,
the first one when I was younger.
I mean, I will watch the 3 older ones. Sure, no problem. You can put them on. I'll be like, okay, let's watch this. You put
I
the
won't leave the
prequel on in front of me, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of this. I don't care. I'm so sorry, Hayden Christensen. I'm sure you're a wonderful person, but Jesus Christ.
He's actually a good actor.
He really
Believe it or
is,
not,
too.
he
Is
is
he?
incredible
Because they
actor.
don't show it off in those
No,
films. Fuck
it is
me, it's
his-
bad.
Yeah.
Anakin was poorly written, I believe. I've said this on
Okay,
the podcast
right, okay.
before too, Pagan. I've
I
said
do
this
remember
to you,
this. I do remember.
that I think Anakin was poorly written. I think Hayden Christensen is a good actor.
Are we gonna make him drink from
I-
that one?
I saved it.
Yeah. This has been a fun drunk episode.
Before I get
Okay.
worse, maybe we should move on.
Go ahead.
Uncle Noli knows.
Uncle Noli knows what happens when we die. That was not answered in this week's episode of Uncle Noli Knows.
No, it
That
was
wasn't this
last
week?
week's, I think. No, it was last week's when he was like, "You shit yourself." Pretty sure.
Ah,
Shit yourself.
I told you
Yeah.
I had to go back and like refresh my memory because.
My.
God damn it.
Drink.
I'm going to have so much fun editing this episode.
Oh, it's all in my beard.
Your beard goes, thank you.
You're
gonna-
like Ryan doesn't actually drink any drinks. He just brings it towards his face, and
His beard just
goes-
absorbs it.
that-
like
God
Yeah.
damn it. Now I just pictured Ryan's beard as like Cthulhu.
that's funny. That's funny.
Ah, the struggles.
Hey,
But
Ian,
Uncle
why
Noli
don't you
Knows
tell us
wasn't
about
here.
Uncle Noli Knows?
Why don't I tell you about Uncle Noli's? Okay, I will.
Go for it.
I'm like, yeah,
Um,
send me notes.
Firstly, yeah.
Because I'm not drinking milk, by the way.
You're not drinking milk. Listen, it is whiskey. I'm telling you, it's whiskey.
You spelled Phoenix
here-
wrong.
Okay, well, shut up. so there.
Wait, Phoenix?
Okay.
That was the same episode.
Well, he said something about like bank robberies. Why can't I?
Same one. Got the toilet paper behind him.
Oh,
This
there we
is
go. I
why
mean,
you film podcasts with alcohol.
absolutely. I was
We've
trying
been
to
talking about
post
doing
something
a
in
drunk
chat.
podcast for ages. This is the first time we've really done it.
I'm so proud of you.
Trying to
guys.
I was trying to post something in chat for
So
Ryan to have a
this
look at,
week
but-
on
Oh,
Uncle
how
Noli,
do I
we
get
got a
to that?
7-minute special with Uncle Noli's advice. First of
Yeah.
all,
I actually
you-
think the first one is pretty great. The first one was pretty great. It
The one
was like,
by
how can
Bridie
Bridie
Jade.
Jade, and she said, "What's the
Tell
best
us about
way
it.
to make friends?" Uncle Noli's was like chips and dip, snacks. Snacks is the best way to make friends. And
I
was like,
100%
"That
agree with that.
is agreeable. If you put food in front of me, I like you. I like you already. As long as it doesn't have onions in it, I'm good. I like you. We're best
What's wrong with
friends. Chips and dip.
onions?
I don't digest them.
French onion dip. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I don't digest.
Ah, okay. Okay. So what kind of dip do you
gotta get
prefer,
more.
Pagan?
What kind of dip?
Hold
do I
on, hold
prefer?
on. Go get more milk. We'll wait.
Right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Jump
Look,
cut.
there's a sip left.
Jump cut.
There's a sip left. I will save the sip for when I fuck up again. Should be shortly. Yeah, Bridie Jade asked, "What's the best way to make friends?" Chips and dips is definitely the best answer ever. Thank you, Nolan. I like anything that's like salted chips with like
Salted.
a sour cream dip, like a sour cream and. I say chive, but the chive also fucks me up sometimes. Guacamole is good too, as long as there's no onions in it.
I
So
love
basically
some
just
sour-
avocado.
I love guacamole.
Slather some avocado on there and maybe some like
Slather.
beans or whatever you got going. Chili dip.
All the
I'm on board. I'm on
gummy
board.
worms. Anything. you
Gummy
can throw in.
worms.
So
Yeah,
on that
absolutely
note, what is
anything,
your
whatever you
favorite
got.
dip?
Who? Ryan?
What?
Yes, everyone.
Ryan, what's your favorite dip?
My favorite dip?
Yes.
Just whiskey. Anything
not
that
a
I can
dip.
dip. in
Excellent.
just my fingers.
I disagree, sir. You can put whatever the fuck you want in a whiskey. Oh my god. Stuff you would never thought I'd see in the podcast. Oh my god. Listeners, I'm not even gonna bother explain. Just look those of you.
Just so you know, you were 100% focused on right there, Ryan.
Oh yeah. That was
I'm
perfect.
so proud. I'm
Gold
so proud of that
content.
moment.
Gold content.
How?
Oh. No, the
I'm not gonna edit this episode at all. Fuck that.
Just going in raw.
Going in raw.
Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite answer. The whole like
My favorite dip is dill.
dill?
Dill dip.
Really?
So good. You get some rye bread, dip it in there. Dip, 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 dip. I said dill, dip, dip, dip.
I love how both of my
is
yeah. Me and Ryan's face is just like what? Brian's
Dill? Dill?
Like, what is dill?
The
I know
fuck is
I know
dill?
dill in terms of like dill there's usually dill sauce on salmon and stuff, so I can only associate it with fish. So
You've never heard of dill dip?
we don't have it really here. Our dips here are like what do you call
cheese.
salsa.
Cheese.
Salsa, we have nacho cheese dip and we have sour cream dip. And I
American
love
dip
some
is just
nacho cheese
cheese.
is good.
Everything's covered in
Yes.
cheese.
Fine.
American.
America is like deep fry it, put some cheese on it, and add some powdered sugar. Everyone's gold. And you're like, yep.
Powdered sugar on cheese.
Anywhere in America, tell me that's not real.
That's
It's
We
totally
do
fucking
have-
real in America.
We do have
And the
burgers
celiac
made out of
kids are
donuts.
Just like,
Oh no, are you celiac?
Oh no.
Oh, Ryan.
Gluten
broke
free,
my
my
heart.
friend.
still, then it's
Gluten
fine.
free.
No,
It's fine.
that was
That's
my
why
first
whiskey is
thought.
his favorite dip, because it's celiac free. It's celiac friendly.
It's
I was
celiac
gonna say
free.
Celiac free.
All
You
joking
did say
aside, he's
celiac
like
free.
chips and dip, and I'm like, well, that's not going to win the celiac crowd, but nobody wants to be their friend.
You could have like not potato chips, but you could have like other things. You could have vegetables or something.
what I
I
can
don't know.
have?
What do you
I
celiac
can
people eat?
Beet chips.
I
Oh.
can have steak. I just replace anything that would have gluten in it
With
with
whiskey.
bacon and steak and whiskey and I
Perfect
love
combo.
my life. This is
Sounds like a good life.
and
Who
I
the
am
fuck needs gluten?
strong.
I swear to God. When you have bacon steak and whiskey, who needs
Bacon
gluten?
steak. I want some bacon steak right
I want
now.
some bacon steak.
Yes.
You guys do bacon in America really
It's
well though, because you have that
every
streaky
lunch.
bacon that makes it like real crispy. Whereas like here in
Explain
Ireland, it's more like
streaky bacon
rashers.
to me.
So it's like so you have like long thin strips of bacon that are streaked with fat,
Gotcha.
right?
Correct.
Whereas we
There's a
here have
very UK
bacon
phrasing.
rashers.
We don't call bacon streaky bacon.
Bacon
We just call
rashes?
it bacon.
Rashers.
That it sounds horrible.
Bacon rasher. It's like
Rashers.
it's like a bacon slice, but there's no streak and it's in a weird shape. I'm gonna go show you a photo.
I'm gonna zoom in on your
it's
face
very
when you
like
say
an
it's
English-
a.
Well, it's bacon rasher. I feel like anybody else is googling this right now. It's like this. And you cook it and it's tasty. Save
It's
image
tasty.
as. Can I send you this in this chat here? No.
Sure you
Yes, no?
can.
Can I? I feel like I shouldn't. Oh, I should. I can.
Anyways,
oh, wait. Oh, no.
we've only talked
You know-
about one Uncle Noli subject, by the way.
I do want to bring up though.
Okay.
No, I'm sticking to the bacon thing. What you do have right in
Bacon is
in
delicious.
Ireland is butter. Irish butter
Oh,
is the best in the
yes.
world.
Agreed.
I would
It's
say there was other
incredible.
great Irish things.
Okay, so I have been to America, I've been to South Africa, I've been to France, I've been to a lot of places. There you go, bacon rashers. That's what they look like.
Bacon rashers.
Bacon rashers. For context, everybody, that's what our bacon looks like when we fry it off. So it's not these long strips of bacon that has crisps with like fat in it, and you guys
I'm
make it real
sorry.
crispy. Oh, so good. Yeah, I know.
I'm really
sucks.
sorry.
Sorry.
I think America's meat products can be really good, but I think Irish really nails dairy products. Like the
So
Irish
good.
nail dairy, and
And
honestly, some
potatoes.
steak here is just so good. Obviously, potatoes. We're the kings of potatoes.
Clearly.
Potato kings. No, yeah, but I actually think like Ireland has probably the best dairy in the world. I don't think I've ever had dairy anywhere else like Ireland.
It's because it rains so much that the grass is so healthy. The cows get real, instead of just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't
jump cut.
Nessie help with that?
Jump cut. Huh? Nessie?
Nessie. The Loch Ness
Nessie?
Loch
Monster?
Ness Monster in Scotland.
In Scotland?
Whatever.
I
Same thing.
mean, Ryan are like, what the fuck? It's a different country. Oh my God.
It's
does
the same
Nessie,
island.
Scottish,
Definitely
Scottish
not
water monster
the
help
same
I know it's not.
Ireland.
Irish.
We're Ireland.
Did you say
Dairy.
Ireland?
Okay, here's
Not the-
Scotland.
Not the same Ireland.
Wow. Can somebody please insert a map of Ireland and UK here? Thank you so much.
Scotland, Ireland.
I do need a jump cut, or just keep going without me. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, then I'll get some more milk.
Get some milk. Put some blue dye in it.
Uncharted 3 playthrough where they finally got 2 guests on the couch in the virtual couch.
We got Robin
this
Atkin
week.
Downs
We got Robin Atkin Downs, aka Rad.
and Murder
Robin Atkin
Mittens.
Downs
My
and
personal
Richard
hero.
McGonagall. This
Oh.
guy is gold. The chat was loving him. The comments are loving him. He's just doling out good content every 3 seconds. And I'm like,
I really
God,
like
Robin
me
needs to be
some
on this way
RAD.
more. And Richard is just wholesome. You just want to hug Richard. He starts
I
laughing
just
and you're like,
wanna-
oh, you're so
I just want to listen to
Like-
Richard laugh all day.
It's great. Ringtone.
Richard is
Good.
who made me fall back in love with voiceover and narration. If you guys have
Ooh.
ever seen 500 Days of Summer, he does the beginning, the short narration at the beginning, and he's just
Oh,
has the best voice on earth. So
he does.
yeah,
Did he really?
yeah, he did.
I didn't know that about 500 Days of Summer. I don't think I've seen it, but yeah, I really love
Good
Richard.
movie.
And the only thing I've actually seen Richard in is Uncharted. But I loved him as Sully, so I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's-
I'm all for Sully.
He's a certified badass.
He's a good dude.
He is. I wish he
Yeah.
had a little like kangaroo pouch that I could just curl up in and he
Yeah.
could carry me
Aw.
around.
Him
In
and
his beard. In his new
floral
beard.
pattern
Yes.
backgrounds of like
Yeah,
Talking.
you look at him and
It's
you're
like
like, you are close to
17th
being a great
century home.
grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, especially now. Like the funny thing is, like I was watching it and I'm like, wow, Richard is like, is an older gentleman now, and you're like, this is so
Yeah.
strange because this game was 10, almost 15 years ago when they filmed it or shot it, or and you're like, wow.
2011 is when Uncharted 3 came out.
But okay, so in terms of like the Uncharted series, though, is what I kind of meant. So it's like 2007. But they were filming in 2006, I presume, or 2005, preparing for this, right? So that's cool, and you're just like, oh, this is so nice that they've all stayed friends. Like how often do you see that as well? Like how often are you friends with coworkers for life? I think it's great. I think it's nice.
You guys are barely friends now.
Yeah, I know.
They're barely friends.
We're business partners. That's it. I don't talk to Dan.
We don't.
I've heard you say the words "fuck Dan" like 17 times in the last.
Yeah, on this episode, yeah. Anyway, so Robin Atkin Downs and Richard McGonigal were on this Uncharted 3 playthrough episode. Firstly, Nolan's game face is back. How excited are we all for the game face? It's like he's super frustrated. Like I feel like he's trying too hard as well now not to do game face, but it's still
I hit square instead of circle.
Yeah, it's still back, honestly. And the other thing I took away from this episode was that Robin Atkin Downs is dirty.
He's very dirty.
So dirty.
He literally did a solid line of "fuck me in the ass."
Okay, yeah, and he was one of the ones was like when they're in the beginning of the fight, the bar fight, and you come across the big guy in the bathroom, and Nathan's like, "Okay, give me a minute, like let me catch my breath," and then he starts. And I think Robin said something like, "You better start," or he's gonna start like he's gonna pull down his pants or something like. And then he's like, "You better
do this in the stall."
Yeah, you better kick his. I think the quote was, "You better kick his ass, or he's gonna put a ball in your mouth and put you in the gimp room." And I was like, "Wow, this is getting interesting, huh?" But yeah, like he was coming up with those kind of lines. And you're just like, "Wow, this is great. This is super good content for the show."
Robin definitely brought some serious, like, what?
What's up, fucking man?
Huh? What? Okay, Robin.
Okay.
Thanks. Let's go back to not talking about fucking Sully in the ass. Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of dirty references, which was pretty funny actually. The other gold moment, I don't know if anybody else picked up on it, was when he was like, "So, what do you want us to do? Like, do you want me to come back for Talbot thing? Like, do you want me to?
I'll leave.
Do you want me to go?
I can leave for a couple hours and just.
You let me know when Talbot's back.
Oh, that's so good. He's
that
like, "You
recent
edit
jump
this out?"
cut. That's exactly what happened, by the way.
Yeah. He's like, "Do you want to edit this out?" And he's like, "No, we keep everything in," and they sure did.
They love to see me fuck up.
Yeah, fantastic episode. What did you think of the launch of Uncharted 3 and having Richard and Robin on the show, Ryan?
I love those guys. I'm going to bring this up because if I don't, I'm going to forget.
Okay.
Thanks to this wonderful Irish whiskey. But the one thing that I really wish they pointed out is the Easter egg in the bar scene. Do you guys know what this is? The newspaper.
Yes, The Last of Us.
Yes. So the Uncharted 3 shares the universe with The Last of Us. We're talking about the cordyceps virus.
That's it.
Taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a cool Easter egg that I wish they had kept in there, because that was like found before Uncharted would
and a drink. Yes. So, other than that, Ryan.
Dad, at this point, dope.
That's dope.
Dan is clocked out. I've taken a podcast.
Pagan has kind of helped assist with the hosting situation because I've had a little too much Jameson.
Ryan, this is all you're doing.
This is magnificent. You're gonna do this every
what
week.
You wanted, Ryan.
This is what you
we
wanted.
did it for you.
Speaking of what you wanted.
Speaking of retro replay, last week we had the guys were playing the video game. What do they play,
Is there a mute
Pagan?
button? Can we mute you?
I'm just imagining what Dan is going to be thinking when he goes through to edit this. Just
Don't you
later,
dare.
yeah, you'd be like, Oh God. Just click, edit.
What's terrible is the people who are going to be like,
15-minute
wow,
episode.
Dan is super drunk. And it was like, I was acting up a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
That is the slowest week I've ever
Entertainment.
seen in my life.
Slow-mo. I actually think speaking of giving you what you want, Retro Replay is sure to give the audience what they want when they've been demanding Richard from the first playthrough. And now he's
Right?
come in on the third.
Richard
such a
Murder
wholesome
Myths
guest.
McGonagall.
Yeah, right. That whole Zoom call as well, where they did it with the cast and Amy. Oh, gold, just
I love
gold. I'm so
Amy.
happy that they can do all this. Yeah, what a badass. She's so cool.
Amy is almost the exact same person as my mentor, my business mentor, who made me the
Cool.
person that I am. Like, looks, acts the same mindset for how
You
she
were the
approaches
same
problems.
person as
Like,
Amy Hennig.
yeah,
That's cool.
that's
Perfect.
I feel so blessed for that.
That's so cool. Is this mentor like someone in your current job at the moment, right?
No. This is somebody that I worked for. She was the CEO of my first company that I was okay. We'll get into this. Why not?
Let's do it.
So 10 years ago, I was homeless, squatting in the ghetto, listening to gunshots
What?
almost every night. Yes, I mean, from my porch.
This is the same thing you talked about in your Twitter video, right?
No, that's my wife.
Yeah.
You right there, buddy?
Fine.
No. This is I actually filmed a video for this, but didn't talk about it. But no, like when I say in the ghetto, I was talking. I'm gonna
It's okay. You can take a sip. Take a sip. Take a breath. This is gonna be a long one.
We are
So-
running long on that note.
We looked at
You're gonna clip a lot of this, Dan. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ryan.
I sure
No.
am.
you're going to edit to only the good stuff, only moments like this.
Yeah.
We're gonna all sound like never mind. I can't.
Come
that
on.
moment when
So this is 10 years ago, before
By
you
the
met your
way,
wife.
I'm
Oh,
not gonna
thank
edit
God,
this
yes.
episode at all.
You will be editing. I will take it down off you. Hold up, Dan. You're
God,
about to
damn
get
it.
life lessons from Ryan. Okay.
Do
10
it.
years ago, before you met your wife, you were homeless,
Homeless,
which is
squatting in
so
the ghetto.
unfortunate to hear. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I mean, this basically Susanna. I mean, you said before I met my wife like found me. 2 months later, we're married, and
Wow.
I started my little path to business. But I was working part-time at Blockbuster, if you remember that wonderful place.
Sure do. We had a similar version, but yeah, I know what Blockbuster was.
I
No,
do.
Blockbuster Video, rocking that. And yeah, the CEO of that company, who I worked for several years, and then I worked directly for her as she built a marketing company that was managed by Google. And yeah, she is Amy Hennigan. That is the last 12 minutes of this conversation, is to say that the person that I worked with directly and who brought me up in business to be from this like dude squatting in the ghetto to this massive empire that I run today.
So this is how. So you kind of like, did you meet your wife and this put you on a path towards this mentor that changed your life, or had you already met that and you had met Susan on the way?
No. So I met Susanna.
Susanna, apologies.
Susanna. No, we fell in love immediately, like I said, there in St. Louis.
So beautiful.
That is a fantastic story that I am not sober enough to tell. And
That's fine.
Next time, sir. Next time.
Very, very shortly after we got married, I was teaching breakdancing on the side. And I'm like, all right, so I could
wait. Breakdancing?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to keep going. I was teaching breakdancing and I was teaching gymnastics. And I was like, all right, so I could keep doing this. I could keep teaching, or I could settle down and I could I've got this great opportunity to get a job where these salespeople are making, they're saying 6 figures. And I mean, what do I really want to do? And this was like dumbass me at that time. This was a serious question that I was asking myself. Do I want to, express myself with my dance? And
were you making 6 figures doing breakdancing?
I don't think you can make 6 figures doing breakdancing.
No, I was not making 6 figures. In fact, I did not get paid for anything that I did.
Artists say.
Yeah.
That whole working for free stick. I got that.
I was supposed to get paid for it.
Sure.
But no, I went into sales, and the CEO, like I said, the CEO of that company.
Sales. I'm from sales.
You're in sales?
I was actually
job?
until right now. I'm actually in customer service, but I used to be a sales manager in a hotel last year. Mm-hmm. And I did sales for a year and a half in a gym in Crawley, Gatwick.
You would kill in sales. Why don't you get back
I
to
love
sales?
sales.
I think we need to move on to our retro reply. As we're now dubbing it, that we are asking questions to the Retro Replay cast and crew to answer for us. This week's question was, how long does a Retro Replay episode usually take to film? And we did get an answer from Mr. PJ Harzma himself, the producer of
Papa PJ.
Big
So
Papa PJ.
Here is his response.
We plan an entire day to shoot a Retro Replay episode, but we usually shoot 2 episodes in a day. So we're in there about 8 in the morning. Boys roll in around 10:30ish. We shoot. We do all the other stuff. We have our meetings, and then we're probably done around 5, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did I say though? 4 hours per episode?
Yeah, 4 hours per episode, and they're there a full 8 hours. Nice one.
I don't know what that was.
You're just too good. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, we know.
You're right.
It's disgusting. Oh no, we were just saying that like Ryan is spot on. It takes 4 hours an episode, and they shoot 2 a day. 2 a day. Wow, that's cool. That's a lot. It's a costume change and everything. It's a costume change and
That's
lunch.
right, because they generally wear different outfits per episode. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes the most sense as far as like how you would shoot a schedule and like, let's knock out 2 a day. I haven't banked. I feel like Pagan's just like, fuck
accurate.
you.
No,
fuck
they're
you.
just genuinely like, yes, I agree with you.
Fuck you.
I wanna put a little like disclaimer at the beginning that anybody listening to this podcast should have alcohol with them.
Yes, you should
Unless
also
they're
I am
already
100%
be in
putting
dance
that at the
stage.
beginning of this episode.
Yes.
Good.
Anyways, this is the part where we wrap the show up, and because Ryan, Robot Ninja Shark, is our guest today, you have the floor, sir. Stop looking around and pay attention.
You free.
And tell us, where can we find you? And if you have anything you would like to promote, please tell us.
Yeah, you can find me. If you try to find me, I will notice and I will outrun you.
Run away.
I'm just going to put that out there
Don't
first.
stalk me.
Find me on Twitter at Robot Ninja Shar 1 because I had no idea what yes, I had no idea what
Robot Ninja Shar.
You can change that now. Do you know that, right?
What?
You can change that. I didn't realize you can, but yes, now you can. You didn't
Pagan
used to be able to
only
change
just
your Twitter
realized
handle.
that she can change her Twitter handle.
You can change
and she
Twitter
hasn't
handle.
done it yet.
There you go.
Have you checked to see if you can make your Twitter handle Pagan Plays?
Yeah, I probably can, and yet I feel like I stand by my original one.
I've already taken it.
Yeah, there you go.
Ryan's taking it.
Yeah, there actually is somebody on.
He's taken.
There is somebody here on Twitter that's Pagan_plays. I don't know who that person is, but they
They're
are already on Twitter.
totally
So I'm like,
your
okay,
doppelganger. They're ripping you off.
they're ripping me off.
Yeah, no, it's somebody that's
100%.
trying to sell. Like they bought it up so that they can sell the rights to
That's
it.
it. Yeah,
That's
fuck.
literally it.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's why. That's why. Is there anything that you'd like to promote, Ryan? Is there anything that you're involved in or that you're interested in promoting from yourself if you're an artist or doing anything?
I would like to promote this entire community. I'm here to support you guys. I love you guys. I am just addicted to
Oh,
hanging
you're
out
talking
with you
about
guys.
replayer community.
Yes, the entire
Yeah, not you in
Replayer
particular.
community.
Not me.
Oh, fuck Dan.
Fuck
Jesus.
you, Dan.
No, yeah, replayers. I agree. Ryan are solid people.
I will say I am loving. I've been following closely what Troy has been doing after he is separated from the Retro Replay show, and I love everything that he's doing, and his involvement with the community has been incredible.
Mhm.
And what he's been able to bring out of that community, the true artists that we have here that have been too afraid to kind of show what they can do,
Mhm.
has given them a place to feel free to do that, and it's been beautiful and such an amazing thing to watch. So if you're not watching
No,
what he's doing, then start watching it.
Yeah.
Couple groups left.
Yeah, for reference, I think it's he's on YouTube under Troy Baker. You can go and subscribe now, and I believe they're launching June 1st, as per his Instagram live today. So yeah, if anybody's interested in what Troy is doing, because I mean, I'm still interested in what the community is creating, and Amelia is writing a song. Like, shout out to Amelia, like she's amazing.
Oh, Amelia.
Yeah,
Amelia, if you're
she's
listening to
unreal.
this,
You're amazing.
you know what I'm saying to you.
They were playing online recently. Yeah, we love you, Amelia. She's a gem. But she's writing a song
You and
as
your
well, like, and
Monsters
collaborating.
Inc. onesie.
They're collaborating like with everybody in the replayers and stuff, and it's really wholesome. And I totally agree with you, Ryan, in terms of like community engagement and bringing out the light in people and what they're good at, and like showing that to others and sharing it, I guess.
I'm
At
getting a drink.
Robot Ninja Shar one on Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter.
Robot Ninja Shar.
Shar. There's no K. There's just Shar and a 1.
And I have an Instagram account. I don't know what it is. I think it might be robot_ninja_shark. I don't know.
We can pop them in the notes. If you want to send it to us, like I'll pop it in the show
Just
notes.
Google it.
Do
Yeah.
you have anything else to promote while you're here?
I can show you my amazing new voice. You know, my
Your vocal booth? You built a
Yeah.
booth? Oh my god.
That is a
Audio
legit,
listeners, for your audio listening pleasure, Ryan is showing us his little booth that he's made.
I don't know if you can see
That's
my
awesome.
beautiful,
We actually
Good
had a
thing.
very similar one in our old house when I lived with my dad. Like we built a booth in one of the sheds that we had.
Hold
it was
on.
really cool.
Very
Is it a
important
similar
question.
one?
Ryan,
Sorry. Yeah.
does your beard have an Instagram?
at this point, my beard does not have an Instagram.
Potential marketing in the future though, like, right?
'Cause
There's
that's what people
definitely
wanna
potential there. I mean, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things that we need to go through with the beard. We got to contact its agent. Like, I don't know. Oh man. Stop. Like, how did
While
you
you're
do that?
doing-
It's so
Ryan,
good.
keep your beard in frame while I say also a thank you to everyone at Retro Replay for all that you do. Without you, the Replayer podcast would not exist. Special thank you to
Oh,
Drew and
nice.
PJ and Nolan and Steph and Paul. While we all take in the beauty that is Ryan's beard. You can find the Replayer podcast on Facebook and Twitter. You can message us anytime and let us know how you feel about the show. If you'd like to be interested on coming on the show. We upload our videos every Wednesday. The audio goes up on Mondays. You guys are laughing at me.
Yeah.
I wasn't until I noticed that she was.
We're like the two
That's-
kids in the back of the class going.
That is the point of a drunk podcast, which we've talked about doing, and we're finally now.
podcast.
We're finally doing now after almost a year of Retro
So
Replay.
proud of you guys.
Almost a year. We're getting there. Hopefully, we'll have a special for you guys in a year of Retro
Oh.
Replay podcast.
In another year?
No,
Yeah, next year. Fuck it.
a year of our show.
Not this year though. Who cares? 1 year anniversary. Blah. Who
Blah.
shows up to those things anyway?
I have way too much editing to do for this episode, so I hate you guys.
What?
With that,
what the hell did you just
thank
say?
you, Ryan, for coming on our show. We've been super looking forward to having you on here. This is me closing the show so that we can get to just having a drunk fucking tangent, which we're gonna make for a Patreon episode if we ever do Patreon.
God. This is so funny.
Get on Patreon.
We don't
Get
have a
on
Patreon yet.
Patreon.
Why
but
do you
do
not
it
have-
now.
I'll subscribe.
Thank you so much, Ryan. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Ryan.
You guys are amazing.
No, you're amazing.
You're amazing.
No, Uno reverse card, okay?